By age 25, Luka Dončić was a 5-time All-NBA first-team selection, an NBA scoring champion, and the face of the Mavericks franchise. A generational talent. The kind of player you build around for decades. The kind of player no team in their right mind would ever trade away going into their prime.
Right?
About 11:05, I got tipped off that there's something going on with the Lakers and Mavericks.
On a random Saturday night, just after 11 p.m., the NBA world stopped. News detonated through the NBA world that the Dallas Mavericks had traded Luka Dončić to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis. A trade so shocking, so unthinkable, that even Shams Charania, the ESPN insider who broke the story, thought for a second that his phone had been hacked. Shams recounted how his hands trembled as he typed out the tweet, checking and rechecking every detail, because the idea of Luka being traded was that unimaginable.
Made one more call. I'm like, I didn't even say on that call. I basically like, is this real? And the person's like, yeah, it's real. I answered 5 people on phone calls. Text, I couldn't. And everyone with the same message. Did you get hacked? Did you get hacked? Check your phone. You got hacked. Like, everyone had the same response. Like, people were like, are you okay?
Let's step back a year. The Mavericks had just come off a finals run. Luka had carried the team on one leg, averaging nearly 29 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 8 assists through 22 playoff games. He'd dragged them within 3 wins of a championship. He was 25, entering his prime, with a game that elevated everyone around him. Nonetheless, the Mavericks initiated a trade. No bidding war, no shopping around for the best offer. They just called the Lakers, and within days, Luka was gone. The trade came together in absolute secrecy. Mavericks GM Nico Harrison and Lakers GM Rob Pelinka were among the only people in the league who knew it was even being discussed. Luka didn't ask out. There was no feud, no public frustration. The Mavericks simply decided to move on, citing concerns over Luka's conditioning and the looming $345 million extension he was eligible for that summer. Nico Harrison later explained that he believed defense wins championships, and that acquiring an all-defensive big man like Anthony Davis gave the Mavericks a better chance to win now and in the future.
We believe in as an organization it's going to make us better. We believe that it sets us up to win not only now but also in the future. And when we win, I believe the frustration will go away.
The Mavericks really did trade away a top 3 asset in the NBA without even testing the market. Just a straight call to the Lakers and done. Some have called it the worst trade in NBA history, and they might not be wrong. The Mavericks had just constructed a roster tailored to Luka's strengths. After last year's trade deadline, they'd gone 21-9 down the stretch with the 8th best defense in the league. They added pieces like Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, and Daniel Gafford to give Luka support. Trading him gutted that entire plan. As Michael Pina of The Ringer wrote, "Removing Luka from this team is like taking the sun out of our solar system. Everyone who relied on him can't possibly exist in the same way anymore, if at all." And then there was Luka's return to Dallas, 2 months later, April 9th, 2025. The Lakers came to town, and Luka dropped 45 points, matching his season high, with 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals. The Lakers clinched a playoff spot with the win, and Luka reminded the Mavericks in the most brutal way possible exactly what they gave up. That night wasn't just a game, it was a statement. From the Mavericks' perspective, there's no way to justify this move. Luka's conditioning wasn't ideal? Fine, work with him. Luka might want a massive extension? Of course, that's what generational players command. You don't ship them out because they're expensive. The reaction from Mavericks fans said it all. Outrage poured out across Dallas. Fans gathered outside the arena, some holding signs that read "Fire Nico," others staging a mock funeral for the franchise's championship hopes.
17! 17!
Why?
Chants of "Fire Nico" echoed through the plaza. Heartbreak, frustration, and protest rolled into one. The fans saw this for what it was, the gutting of their identity, the loss of a player who was supposed to define their team for decades.
This is the worst moment in the history of my life. This is ridiculous. This is crazy, man. We went to the NBA Finals. Why are we trading the best player, the franchise player?
Luka was traded for a 31-year-old Anthony Davis, who's been in and out of the lineup with injuries and whose contract gives him the option to leave in a few years. Now, don't get me wrong, Anthony Davis is no scrub. He's a champion, an all-NBA talent, one of the best big men of his era. But he's not Luka Dončić.
He's not the 25-year-old generational star you build your entire franchise around for the next decade. The Mavericks also received Max Christie and a single 2029 first-round pick. That's it. Compare that to what other stars have fetched. Rudy Gobert netted 5 first-round picks, 4 players, and a pick swap. Paul George cost the Clippers 5 first, 2 pick swaps, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Mikal Bridges brought back 5 first-round picks, a pick swap, and a second-rounder. And it's baffling. Dallas didn't just lose the trade, they barely seemed to try.
You can do what you want to do as an owner. You can also be called stupid for doing it. And that's exactly what I'm calling Dallas Mavs ownership. Stupid for doing what they did.
The Lakers couldn't believe their luck. They were approached by Dallas. They didn't have to initiate, and in one move, they secured their post-LeBron future. This trade wasn't just about now. It was about what comes after LeBron. Luka is the present and future. The Lakers didn't just make a trade. They pulled off a generational coup. There were also initial rumblings about fit. 2 ball-dominant, oversized playmakers in LeBron and Luka could have clashed, but both are elite players with elite IQs who have found ways to complement each other on the court. The Lakers know what they have. This isn't just one of the biggest trades in recent history, it is the biggest. A move that will be dissected for decades. A move that might haunt Dallas fans for a generation, because generational talents don't come around often. The Mavericks have had 2, Dirk Nowitzki and Luka Dončić. Dirk stayed 21 years and delivered a title. Luka could have done the same. Instead, Dallas rolled the dice, and the league is still picking its jaw up off the floor.
First thing I said, probably 3 times is April 1st.
What were you feeling in that moment?
Sadness, mostly. Crazy shock, and I felt like my heart was broken, honestly.
Now, since the trade, Nico Harrison and the Mavericks have doubled down on their decision. He has emphasized in interviews that defense wins championships, pointing to teams like the 2020 Lakers and 2021 Bucks as evidence. Harrison has stated that acquiring Anthony Davis was about reshaping the team's identity around defense and versatility. He also acknowledged there was uncertainty about how long Luka would stay happy and healthy at the level they needed to win a title, and that the trade, while difficult, was aimed at building a more balanced and sustainable contender. Nico also briefly mentioned the possibility that Dončić wasn't going to sign the Supermax extension, something that Luka has flatly denied.
Did you or anyone on your inner circle indicate that that might be the case?
Absolutely not. It's easy as.
So what happens next? It looked bleak for the Mavericks, but there's now a ray of hope. Against the odds, they won the draft lottery and secured the #1 pick in this year's draft. All signs point to them selecting Cooper Flagg, the consensus top prospect, a player widely regarded as having franchise-altering potential. Flagg's two-way skill set, versatility, and upside could ease the pain of the Luka trade. Meanwhile, for the Lakers, it's about building around Luka, extending their window beyond LeBron, and seizing a future that just fell into their lap. No matter what, the Luka AD trade will be remembered as one of the most shocking trades in NBA history, if not the most. A moment that changed everything, in the shadows, in the dead of night, on a Saturday that will be remembered for a long time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like. And if you learned something new, consider subscribing for more videos.